In this tutorial, we're going to provide an overview of the HRSource system layout and design. HRSource is built on Microsoft Access, and Microsoft Access has a set of objects, what Microsoft calls objects, and let's look at those. You can look at those objects by going into the database window. Now, the database window allows you to see the backside of HRSource. It's not really a user-friendly place, but this is where everything exists. There's different types of objects. The first type is tables. Tables are where all the data is stored. So there's different tables that store different types of data. There's a table that stores organizational information, a separate one that stores job titles, a separate one that stores pay, and so on. In addition to tables, there's queries. Queries are the engine behind the system. That's where those queries are mini programs that reside behind every report in every form. And then brings us to forms. Forms are all the screen. So the screen you're looking at on the right here, that's a form. So any screen is a form. And then reports. Reports are nicely laid out information that you can print or email. And then there's macros. Macros are a tool, an object, a tool, where you can group together multiple tasks. So we have macros for uploading data into HRSource. We have macros for interface, where there's many steps in the process that you can combine and run under one macro. And finally, there's modules. Modules are where contain Visual Basic code, basic programs. So that's an overview of the HRSource in Access architecture. Let me show you a little bit about the table structure of HRSource. This is the diagram that displays that structure. You can see on top is the main table. The main table is the largest table in the system. It contains individuals' names, address, phone numbers, and so on. The next level it contains the next link to this table are a few other tables that contain miscellaneous information. You can see one contains education, previous employment, skills, applicant data is connected, and then employee data. Now, employee data itself doesn't contain a whole lot of information. It includes hire date, term date, a few other fields, but the main purpose of that is to connect the main screen with all these other screens. So you can see there's a number of other screens that contain the information that I talked about. Employee organizational information, performance information, training, pay information. And then finally, the fourth tier are validation tables. So these are the lookup tables, the validation tables that you can set up and modify from the validation screen in HRSource. So that's an overview of the HRSource system design and layout.